One 3/4 quarts. That's half of 3 1/2. We're using this bucket. It's 3 1/2 quarts. So I need to mark for a half of that because I'm splitting the recipe. Splitting the recipe. Where is that exactly? It is right there. That's half. Hello and welcome back to That Old Shop. My name is Mike Scott. I am pressing on with trying to get my garage floor resurfaced. I had trouble mixing a whole bag, following the instructions on the bag, mixing a whole bag in one bucket. I'm working by myself, so I don't have a mixer dude to keep it mixed or to mix another batch and to keep things moving. So what I decided to do was I'm going to mix half the bag in separate buckets. I'm going to cut these buckets down though so I don't waste so much because I'm using twice the containers now, and it was a hassle when I was mixing it in a 5-gallon bucket to get everything out of there, in addition to keeping it mixed. The sand kept falling down to the bottom of the mixed, and I adjusted the water, less water, more water, it didn't seem to matter. So you saw me, I measured this out with a measuring cup and a quart canning jar. So I have the water, I marked this. This was my bucket for 3 1/2 quarts. That's what you're supposed to mix with a whole bag. So I'm having that. Got my measuring bucket made now. So now I'm going to cut down these 2 buckets here. Half bag's going to go in. I won't have the ability of the handle anymore, so I'll just carry it underneath like that. Several different long-handled, either a squeegee or some type of flexible knife. Went to a concrete supply place and a couple of big box stores. Even the concrete supply place didn't have anything for resurfacing concrete. They probably sell some resurfacing products, but they didn't have what I was looking for, some type of flexible knife, like a large drywall knife with a handle. I did buy my wife picked me up a large drywall knife. I believe it's a 20-inch. This is that drywall knife. I don't even recognize the brand, but I thought maybe I could put a handle on this so I could have more reach, because it's large surfaces. So I don't really want to wreck this. I might use it, I guess. I have a large knife about like that for drywall, but maybe I'll use this for drywall one day. Maybe I'll use it. Maybe I'll discover that what I have here isn't going to work. And what I have here is for sealing a blacktop driveway. I thought I'd try that. It's got a squeegee, but it's also got a scraper on one side. So I thought if I ran into a similar issue where the sand was collecting in one part of the floor, I could maybe move the sand with the scraper kind of edge. So this is what I'm going to use. So it's got a squeegee that's got some flex to it. I'll show you the other one I bought. I bought this one, but it's just it's a thicker squeegee material, and it just didn't have the control I wanted. But it was bigger. So when I got to those sand areas, it would start to like bounce across the surface, and it left all these ridges. So this thing's kind of heavy. This is actually a lighter handle, so I don't know what that wood is. Even the wood is pretty heavy. I don't plan on using the brush on the resurfacing. That got a hose clamp attached. You can use the handle with the squeegee or remove it, and then it screws into the brush. But like I said, that's for doing blacktop driveways. I can squeegee like this. I can bend it a little bit if it's got some more flex to it, or I can flip it over and scrape some material where I want it. So hopefully this works out. So I've swept this off a couple of times and blew it off 2 or 3 times with the leaf blower, but that doesn't get the gravelly grit, little stones sometimes. It gets kicked up, so I'm going to go around the edges especially, and any divots in the concrete, and suck any stones or sand out of there. I had several thoughts about when I divide this bag up into 2 separate mixing buckets. Where has the sand settled in the bag? They're always laying like this, flat, not stood up in any of the stores where I purchased it from. So I think I just might roll this around a little bit, back and forth, and just cut the end and pour about half a bag into each container. Since these are similar containers, I can actually mark it. I'll probably go by the UPC there, try to come up with the same marking on those, so I know I'm equally dividing up the bag. And that's before I add the water. The water's got to be in the bucket first. avoid any clumping. This stuff starts to separate right away. It starts to get kind of a milky appearance on the top. See how milky that is looking. Okay, there's supposed to be a 2-hour working time with this. So I let this sit for just a few minutes while I move some tools around. I didn't do that before on any of the 4 bags. I mixed it up and poured it out right away. Doesn't say that there's supposed to be any slake period where it sets and then you remix it like thin set mortar. I didn't spray. Dang it. Didn't spray the floor beforehand. So this is the final on the floor after the final coat. It comes out multicolored like this because of some very old concrete underneath, and there was lots of dirt and stains. I had power washed it off several times, and like I said, ran the grinder across the whole floor. A grinder that I rented to knock down the high edges where pieces were lifted up from freeze thaw cycles. So I ground the edges down so I could blend them in with this stuff, and then I went over the whole floor with the grinder to give me some tooth for this stuff to stick to it. So as you can see, it does not come out to a smooth surface when you just use a squeegee. It would come out to a smooth surface if you used a steel trowel on it, but this is too big of an area for me to steel trowel. I'm not that good. I'm okay with small areas, but this is much too big of an area for me. This is one bay, and over here's the other bay. A little cleaner over here. This line right here, I actually dribbled some oil on there. There was some attic stairs right there, and I got something out of there, and I brought it down, and it started leaking oil when I got down to the bottom of the steps. And it leaked oil all across here. So if you don't want more stains, if you had a cleaner concrete that you went over so it didn't have this multicolored look, and you wanted to keep it more of a consistent color, you'd have to seal it. But there's concrete sealers out there. And I think that'll do it on the concrete resurfacing. Like I said, I didn't have pictures of any of the grinding, but I rented an Edco concrete grinder for grinding, you know, high spots in the sidewalk or something like that. They make several different grinders, but it was the gas-powered one. I'll try and post a picture of the grinder. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're being entertained at all here. Thanks. Bye.